G'day, Tristan from More Beer Than Barra. Hope you're all holding up okay in isolation. We've tried to make the best of the situation by building our own fire pit in the backyard, which is better than nothing. Whilst we've been stuck at home, I've used the time to re-edit some of the footage we took on a recent trip to the Pentecost River. As it turned out, the 130k trip down the Gibb River Road to the Pentecost turned out to be our last one, before COVID-19 restrictions put a temporary halt on our camping plans. The Pentecost River lies in the eastern Kimberley region of Western Australia. As I said before, the Pentecost is about a 125 kilometre drive west of Kununurra, along the famous Gibb River Road. This section of the Gibb River Road provides you with some spectacular views of the Coburn Ranges. They're really very impressive to see. Once you pass the turn-off for El Questro station, the Gibb River Road changes from bitumen to dirt. It's a fairly simple track, but it can be very corrugated, particularly during times of heavy traffic. Once you reach the Pentecost River, there are turn-offs on either side of the bank that take you to real four-wheel drive tracks along the banks that reach a number of quite pleasant campsites right next to the river. This track that we chose took us through the long grass along the eastern bank of the river. The track got quite steep and rutted at times. It definitely is low range and requires you to concentrate. Welcome to the Pentecost River, only about a kilometre north of the Gibb River Road, and we're going to be setting up camp here for the night. A little bit overcast, a little bit warm. It's been about 34, 35 degrees, but it's about 3:30, so hopefully it should be dropping down shortly. There's our camp set up. I've got to set up the rooftop in a minute. And the spectacular thing about the Pentecost, I don't know whether you can see that, I'll try and zoom in, is you have the little Coburn Ranges, almost layered rocks that stick out all over the place. And I'll attach some photos to this so you can see it better later on. But as the sun goes down, these things just start glowing red and it looks sensational. Proper Kimberley scenery. Now we've got the fishing rods in and we've had some luck already today. We've had an undersized barra, about 47 centimetres. So he went back in. Let's get down to the bank. And hopefully we get one past the 55 centimetre mark so we can keep him at some point. In the middle of the river there as well, there's a big saltwater croc. It's pretty hard to see him from there, but there's a very thin line that comes in and out of the water. So he's a salty, don't worry about that. So we've got to we'll keep our wits about us. But there you have it. The Pentecost River, the eastern Kimberley, we're about 125 kilometres west of Kununurra, and we're looking forward to what should hopefully be a pretty good evening. See you later. Sadly, the fishing gods gave us no further luck and there was no barramundi for dinner that night. Instead, we had to make do with some fairly special scenery. I should also mention that the Pentecost River crossing on the Gibb River Road is one of Australia's most iconic river crossings. Sadly, the crossing was closed due to flooding the day we were there, but we'll definitely be back to take our obligatory photo with the car and the Coburn Ranges in the background. The journey home the next morning was fairly uneventful. We did stop on the way back, however, at this gorgeous billabong at Gap Creek, just off the Gibb River Road. We stuck around just long enough to flick a few lures and to take in the sights. So that's it for our trip to the Pentecost River, and as I was finishing editing this episode, we've just heard that restrictions on camping have been lifted, provided you stay within your region and you keep adequate social distancing measures. So you can bet your backyard fence that we'll be back out there next weekend, and hopefully we'll see you guys out there on the tracks sometime soon too. Look forward to another episode of More Beer Than Barra shortly. Dry season just kicking in, the weather's coming good for camping. Can't wait.